One of the things that you talk about is you've got this passion for the lawyers and getting them out of the 9 to 5 rat race, right? It's freeing up their time, and so I want to speak specifically to delegations. And we talked about this in the E-Myth, but here you are now. You've got your firm, you've got multiple business entities, including the Mastermind, and putting on a conference. Obviously, you can't do that alone.
No.
And how do you balance that? What goes into getting out of that 9 to 5 rat race? Let's speak to that specifically.
Yeah, I was watching somebody talk the other day, and I can't remember who it was, or it might have been on something, but they said you got to clone yourself. I don't know if that's exactly true, but I think what I try to do is my ego is not so big that I got to think it's got to be doing perfect. I mean, I want it as good as it can be done, but, say I'm not going to do it and do it perfect, or we'll get it 99% right. Whereas if I delegate to somebody, they might get it 92% right. Well, I'm okay with that. It's a little different. I know that people say law, you can't do that. But as long as you got somebody reviewing it, you can't do it all. And I think the other deal is we all got unique strengths, that we're really good at, stuff we got a passion for, we're really good at. And it's usually stuff you love to do. So what I've tried to do over the years is I know how to teach management, but I hate management. I hate managing employees, okay? I just hate it. I'm not good at it because, number one, I want everybody to like me. And number two, I just think if I tell you to do something, I just expect you to do it. And you can't do that in business. You got to have somebody inspecting and keeping the KPIs and holding people accountable. That's not my strength, okay? I'm just being honest with you. My strength is leadership, and I'm the big ideal guy. I'm thinking about the future. And so I usually hire very strong management people, try to beat that, and other people I'm not really good at technology, so I try to hire people that really know technology and delegate to them and empower them, but with some kind of what is it Reagan said, trust but verify or something, trust but verify. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what KPIs do, and that's what reports do. And really, I mean, I used to run the reports, but then I give it to my office manager, or and say, go take care of this. These people, this person's not doing, they're not meeting their quotas, or do this or that. I mean, I know what to look for, but I just didn't want to be the one to confront them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I think it's about delegating, and there's different points of delegation. It's like in the top ones where you just give it to them and just know they're going to take care of it. Those are very hard to find. But the deal is, you don't want something where you got to show everybody every time. You might as well do it yourself, right? That's what most people think. Well, time I show them how to do it. But if you can train somebody and you got processes, procedures, and they can go there and learn it, then that's where the rubber meets the road. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, that's the key, is having this processes and onboarding people and training them, and then just delegate to them and have some way to hold them accountable. I mean, we do it with KPIs, reports,
Yeah.
And most lawyers do. They use some kind, whatever your KPI is. So I used to, when I ran the law firm, from the time somebody got released till I got the medical records, my goal was 30 days. And I'd run reports. If it got over 30 days, then I wanted to know why,
Yep.
So they knew we were watching. Yep. And sometimes there's legitimate reasons, right? And sometimes there's not. Yep. But if they know you're watching, and then I wanted 2 weeks, I wanted the demand out 2 weeks from the time they got the records in, because they had to hit a button. And if they won't, then I wanted to know why. I want a case settled after demand went out in 60 days. And sometimes that don't always work. But if it didn't, I want to know why. And if there was no good reason, then I want a suit filed in 30 days. So I pushed everything. Everybody knew what the benchmarks were. And they were given we didn't sit there and micromanage them, but we had, everybody knew what the goals were. You know what I'm saying? What the benchmarks were.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for me, too, I'm the same way from a emotional perspective. And what I found with these KPIs is it makes it a lot more objective.
Yeah.
Hey, you're missing your KPIs. It's not me. I'm not the bad guy here. It's You're missing your numbers. Here they are.
Yeah.
And it presents a different way of managing those people. I also, Ken, I heard recently Cody Sanchez. She owns multiple companies, and she said she goes by the the 140 rule, and I was, what's that? And she's like, well, maybe get two people that are 70% as good as you, but combine their 140 so they can do more than the one individual.
Yeah.
That's not always the case.
Yeah.
One person can be the equivalent to three, but I like that perspective of looking at things too.
Well, I tell you what I like to do. I really like, everybody says hire slow, but I'm really looking for A players. Even if I got to pay them more, because this is a prime example. Costco versus Walmart. Costco probably pays their people 30 to 40% more per hour, but they use a lot less people. All right. So what the studies have shown is that A players will produce 150 to 170% more work than a B player or a C player. And not saying B players are bad. C's are. I don't want C's in my business. But B's are not bad. You're not going to have all A's because there's just not that many of them out there. But if you can have, the more you can have. I was talking to some guy on the company. He had 60% A players. I said, that's good. I mean, that's great because really, I'd be satisfied with 30 or 40%. I mean, I'd be tickled to death because A players are the ones going to get 100%, 150%. They treat the business like it's their own. They're hungry not just for money, but they're hungry to grow personally and help the business grow. They know how to get along with other people. They're not assholes, but they know how to get, and they're humble, but they're very confident. So what I'm saying is, you find somebody with all those qualities, you got an A player. You know what I'm saying? And those people are worth more. I'd rather pay somebody $60,000 A player than a B player $40,000. Because I know I'm going to get just as much done, if not more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.